Contender ready!
Gladiator ready!
3, 2, 1, fight! Today, we're going to be fighting the MCU. We're going to throw something out there that is debated hotly over the last year, and that is the fact that The Eternals was actually an incredible movie. I was shocked. It actually managed to put me to sleep. I was zonking off. I haven't slept in a while, but when we watched it that time, I was nodding off, and it really, really did a good job for me. So I'm eternally grateful to The Eternals, because that film felt like an eternity.
It was.
And it managed me to get some Z's.
It was a waste of time. I don't know how best to say it. As we were watching it, I thought to myself, you know, time is very precious.
Yeah.
And I could be using this time more wisely.
We can't get the time stone. We don't have that. We can't just decide to reverse it and just get it back. Eternals, man. What a shit show. I didn't want to do a full review. I said, I don't want to give it the time, but at the same time, it would be really good to break it down fully. And I want to do that.
Honestly,
but it's just too much time.
I feel like we could actually spend a couple days going over how they could have fixed the script.
Yeah.
In small ways to tell the same story and have made it 1,000 times better.
Just restructuring it, cutting it down because the pacing was awful. The directing was not great. The acting was wooden 101.
But the problem is that I don't care enough about the MCU anymore.
Right.
So I don't want to give it the time.
I want the stuff to be good.
That.
I want to watch it and for it to be good. In that case, I'm okay. But when it comes out with bad stuff, I'm like, why?
Why?
I want it to be great.
We watch it going in thinking, bar has been set high for a reason. And then you watch it and it's, what just happened? Why have they done this? I haven't enjoyed myself.
It's the same thing with Doctor Strange. We're supposed to have done a review of that movie by now and I don't want to look at it again. And Doctor Strange 1's a good movie, but I've just watched it like 12 times.
He has.
It is one of the best origin movies in the MCU. The Eternals is definitely not that. It's definitely one of the worst MCU movies by a very, very big margin, okay? It's down there in the bottom 5. It might be in the bottom 2.
No, guys.
But Ant-Man and the Wasp is special in how bad it is.
The Eternals makes the Ant-Man and the Wasp look okay.
Oh, you think the Eternals is worse?
Yes!
Oh, I don't know, man.
The acting.
I couldn't rewatch Ant-Man and the Wasp. I couldn't do it. You couldn't pay me. Actually, you couldn't pay me to rewatch this either, but Ant-Man and the Wasp, man, it was atrocious.
It was dire, but watching this, at least I didn't fall asleep in the Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah, it wasn't long enough to fall asleep.
Watching this film, like you.
Yeah.
We were watching it going, why are they telling us this?
On top of all of that stuff, the story itself was so unbelievably confused. It seemed like the writers didn't know what they wanted to say. They were flip-flopping from side to side saying, Thanos bad, then Thanos kinda good, but they weren't saying Thanos kinda good. They were just implying Thanos kinda good while not knowing they were implying Thanos kinda good.
Yeah.
Really odd.
I think the MCU has gone for this sort of grey area recently. And at first it was like, oh, this is refreshing. You know, good side and bad side, a lot of people fall in the grey.
Yeah.
The problem is when everyone falls into the grey.
It just turns into grey overall.
Everything's
grey. The world turns grey.
It creates this very confused story because of course it's going to be told from one perspective and then that perspective gets pushed, but it's like, oh no, but you know, this is also okay and this isn't as bad as you think it is and they're not really bad guys, right? And even the Eternals themselves, they said, no, the people on Earth deserve saving, you know, we've kind of spent our lives here and we have care for them, we've helped them grow and watch them grow, and because of that we should decide to not let this celestial be created or born into out of the world, right? The problem is, even as we were watching, we were like, wait, but the maths isn't lining up here because the word that kept being used is billions. Yeah, but the Celestial will create billions of lives, but there are already billions of lives on Earth. Incorrect.
They were playing a game here. They were playing a game.
There are billions of people on Earth. Correct. Check. You get a tick. But the Celestial would create trillions, very different. B and a T. Different letters.
Thousands of times more.
Thousands of times, lots of zeros. If you do just the weighting, they're different.
Right.
And I understand each individual person can give something and look at what the Earth has created and become. So I understand why the Eternals were like, no, we can't let this happen.
Yeah.
But also it's like, you just stopped trillions of lives from happening.
Yeah, it's like the
right?
potential future that could have been there. You're saying it's not worth it, which is where you get into funny situations about life. Where does life start?
Oh,
Because then
gosh,
they
yeah.
stopped the Eternal coming out of the Earth, so you kind of killed the Eternal. You kind of ended the Eternal's life as it was kind of coming out of the Earth.
Yeah.
Which kind of reflects some other things in the world going on.
Like a very, very, very
On the nose.
late-term abortion.
Very, very.
Really late.
Which is
like
very
just
odd.
about to pop its head out.
It was
That
it
sort
was
of
popping
vibe.
its head out.
Its hand was out, its head was out. Also, another thing, they didn't even like disappear the hand and head that came out.
No!
They're just gonna be there.
One of the
from now
characters
on.
has...
Transmutation. She could have been like, let's just get rid of this now.
Right.
But they
She
just
didn't do it. She
still
didn't
there.
do it.
Still there.
And then that's not been addressed in the MCU so far.
So far.
No one's talked, I've not seen it on screens. No one said, there's this weird thing coming out of the Earth somewhere. Talk about the 8th wonder of the world. It's like 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th wonder of the world.
Wild. Really wild.
Stupid shit.
Oh, man. And that's just from the story basis. The
Yeah.
characters themselves, tired. The dialogue, tired. Honestly, just watching it was a bore. Which is just not what I expect.
My question is, did they genuinely think this one was going to be a success?
I don't think they did.
Because $400 million, my guy, not making money. Losing a lot of money. Losing a lot of money. And people will say pandemic, lockdown. No. This came out 1 month before Spider-Man No Way Home. And that made 1.9 billion with a B. Not a T, a B. Still a lot of money.
A lot of
Still
money.
a lot of money. 400 million in relative terms, not a lot of money.
No.
I don't understand how they can deem it a success.
It wasn't. They're pretending.
They're pretending. They're big pretenders now, huh?
They lost the money. Spider-Man is doing the pulling and Sony's getting a big cut of that.
Sony's getting 75-80% of it. Sony's bringing the bag.
How do you say that this phase is going well? when
Spider-Man No Way Home saved the entire slate last year for Marvel. Just by them taking 25% of the profit from Spider-Man No Way Home, it basically covered all their MCU losses for that year. Because they made hundreds of millions of dollars worth of losses.
You know what that says? Either you need to pull down the amount you're spending,
Yep.
or increase the value of the product.
Make it better. I think this film would have been better as a show on Disney+.
Yes.
There would have been a market for it there, and people would have engaged with it properly. But this shenanigans they pulled, I'm not here for it. That's what the kids say.
It could have been an anthology series of each of the 10 episodes with an overarching story, and given each of them their moment.
As well as all that other stuff. It was so unbelievably see-through.
Yeah.
The plot was thin.
It was gloss. All these jumping through time, going back and forth, and oh, this happened then, and this happened then.
The structure was absolutely atrocious.
Oh.
The physicalization of the magic systems was weird. Didn't enjoy it. So Eternals gets a double thumbs down. Quadruple thumbs down. That's what Eternals gets. So, if you haven't watched it, probably don't.
Don't.
Because you won't get the time back. And we definitely won't. So we took the bullet for you. Don't do it. Sumimasen, I'm sorry. It's trash.
I got you! I got you! Take that, you friggin' psycho! I got you!